Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Joseph. Good morning, Lois.
Hi, good morning. Hi, Tirza.
How
Hi,
are you?
Gary. We're making preparations to jump on a plane and go to Hawaii.
Wow, super nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Vacation?
Absolutely.
Sure.
I
What?
can't
Good
tell.
morning.
I haven't known for a while when it's vacation and when it's working. It's just is great.
Yeah. Hey there, Joseph.
hmm You got me just as I put in a delicious bite of green beans and turkey.
Oh, you must not be from around here. What state are you in?
Los Angeles, California.
But you're having dinner for breakfast.
Yeah, I like protein and greens. I keep
Nothing wrong
sim
with dinner for breakfast. I have breakfast for dinner and breakfast for lunch and breakfast for breakfast.
There's no rules.
There's no
right.
rules. Whatever you feel like eating, just eat it when you feel like eating it.
Good morning, Helen.
Good morning, Tirza. Good morning, Lois. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Joseph.
hmm
Hey, aloha.
Aloha. That's right. You guys are in Hawaii, aren't you?
We're going. Got to finish it all up today and then head out.
Cool.
There we go.
We're gonna take the Jeep tour of where they filmed up on the North Shore there of where they filmed Jurassic Park.
Awesome.
I
Wow.
know. We've been
Are you
really into
sure?
Jurassic Park and preparation.
Yeah, they did it, I guess, in a number of places, also in Costa Rica, one of the nearby islands of Costa Rica. And I guess
Cool.
Hawaii too. Good place.
So Terza, what's the best way to send you questions prior to the call?
Email is great. I saw your email. I answered it before I got on here, so
Oh, wow. Thank you.
you're welcome. As I'm putting things into place on the back end, I'm hoping to have I'm planning on having ChatGPT agent handle a lot more of the background admin type stuff, so I can do more of the stuff that I'm good at and I don't drown in admin task, which is what I feel like I'm doing sometimes. But I will also say that that's also been kind of a challenge. So here, just a moment. I'm going to stand rather than.
So is Chat GPT agent different from Chat GPT then?
It's an agent mode, and I will present the basics here in just a few. Actually, in just a minute, I'm going to go ahead and start the show. We're already recording, so first of all, welcome everyone. And yes, I know we all know each other. However, this recording will go on my YouTube channel. So for anyone else who's not familiar with this, my name is Tirza Ekholm. Welcome to my um, open office hour every Friday, where I try to answer questions about AI and go look them up and ask ChatGPT if I don't know them, which is sometimes the case and can be fun to do. And um, for everybody here, go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat, name, business, any questions you might have about AI, and welcome to the call. For future versions, I wasn't brave enough to try it this morning. I may go live on YouTube at the same time, but I need to test that out first before I do that, before I'm brave enough. I'm less concerned about how it might be on camera than I am about the technical details. So I've got to test it. So, but meanwhile, welcome everybody. So happy to see all of you. And Gary's already started with some questions, and as has Lois, and both before this call. And then another person, Dean, had sent me an email also asking about, and in fact,
Here he comes now.
Okay.
You
Perfect.
spoke him into existence.
How cool is that? Good morning, Dean. I was just talking about you. You probably can't hear me yet. That's all right. I'm going to go ahead and
I
share
can
my
hear you.
screen.
I just am always muted.
Oh, okay.
So I hope you're talking good things.
I was just about to mention that you had asked me about the GPT-5 limits, and I was going to share that this morning.
I am right now fighting with ChatGPT. I've been working on a very simple spreadsheet for over 2 days.
Oh,
And I am doing the lion's share of the work, and all ChatGPT is doing is repeating the instructions back to me. And once they get done repeating the instructions, they say, "Oh, you've reached your limit."
ah,
Didn't do any work.
that stinks.
So I
What
finally
I find when it gets into that, it
I
gets
finally
itself
got just
into a
about the
loop. So you got to
results.
start a new conversation.
That's
But-
one thing. Oh, but what about the limits then, Helen? Because you and I don't have the limits.
Well, when it starts looping like that, like repeating the instructions and then saying it's going to do this, I just cancel. I just get out of that chat and I create a new thread, start a new chat with it with the instructions, and then that sort of like kicks it back in and gets it out of
Well,
that loop.
It's not like I'm asking it to write me something. I actually am working on an ROI spreadsheet for investments. And so I'm working in the spreadsheet, I upload the spreadsheet, and then I got to tell it to do what column A through F and then B through C. And, and to start a new conversation is just a ton of work for me. More than if it was a document or a story or something, it would be far easier, but just I'm a little 2 minutes late getting in here because it's finally given me some results, which I hard to believe.
Well, good for you for being persistent. I'll share some of my, I haven't done much with ChatGPT and spreadsheets, but I'll share a little bit of my trials and tribulations this past week from asking Agent to make some, what I thought were super simple designs in Canva. So, and it just didn't quite work out. All right, so with that, let's go to sharing screen. And first of all,
Teresa, can I ask you a question about that?
yes.
So is it conceivable that the agent lacks the knowledge to use Canva? It can manipulate Canva, it has controls, but it doesn't have the deep knowledge. And could you create a GPT that it's a Canva expert and develops the deep knowledge and then have that expert, that GPT communicate with your agent?
Actually, I'm not sure that that's going to be necessary. First of all, the short answer, Gary, is for you to create a GPT is super easy. To have ChatGPT agent be able to access your GPT is not quite available yet. It
Right.
might be available in enterprise mode, but it's not available for free and plus users.
Oh, dear.
I've
Too
been
bad.
working, Gary, I've been working with GPTs since Terza brought it up. I have an SEO GPT, which I engage with more often, but I've also got a ton of other GPTs. And I thought that the SEO GPT would be able to communicate with the other GPTs. But then as I went further, I realized it's just GPT. There's no bunch of GPTs that I can go to specialize, and then my SEO GPT will interact and then bring it to me. That's not true. Also, GPT is only in the moment. They're not they might store information about me to help them, no different than what Google would do, to help them feed me information and keep me on their platform, which is ultimately what all platforms want. They want your time and your eyeballs in them because that's how they monetize. But they will not save, even though they tell you that they're logging information so that you can utilize later. They log it, but it's invisible to you. And the only thing that any of my GPTs work with is in the moment, live information that I feed it on the spot.
Right. So let me, I will share a couple of things about that also. That's excellent information, Joseph, and I'll share a little bit about my experiences as well. But to begin with, I just wanted to let people know about the GPT-5 usage limits for free subscribers. And yes, naturally, I asked ChatGPT, but it also, and it gave me, earlier it had given me resources. You can go look at the OpenAI.com blog always for the latest information. But for now, what they've intended is to make GPT-5 accessible to everyone, but for free users, they're going to limit their usage. So it will only give a limited number of messages per rolling. Here, let me get us out of the way here. Limited number of messages for a rolling 24-hour period. And then once you hit the cap, it'll give you the message, you've hit the free plan limit for GPT-5. But Dean, as Helen said, I'd be curious to know, well, I know you're doing the spreadsheet thing, but I still would be curious to know if you opened up a new chat, whether it would still have that cap. But it probably would until 24 hours had passed. The
Okay.
app will switch you to GPT 4.0 mini.
It's not switching me, and that's the issue.
Okay, that may be a bug for OpenAI to look at. You can't.
I had the same experience that it just cut me off and I wouldn't accept any more messages.
Wow.
And
Okay.
it won't allow me to, I think when you emailed me, Tirza, I think you gave me instructions how I can switch it to 4.0 or 4.0 mini. And I tried those, I tried the, and I just could not get out of it. It will only load, 5.0 or whatever the version 5 is. I
Mhm.
logged completely out, logged completely back in, followed the steps to get 4.0 mini, and it won't.
Okay. Okay, so there's definitely an issue that they need to work on. And we probably all need to email, whenever you run into the issue, email support, I think it's support@openai.com. And if not, it's on their website of how to contact them, because that's an issue, because that's also not what they're promising. So it says plus subscribers like me get priority access during peak times, and free accounts may have slower response times. So that's the main thing there. The basics for agent mode, which I'm going to show in another chat here because I've already got it lined up. Agent mode is a do it for you mode. It can chain multiple actions together. It plans first, then executes. You can watch that as it rolls up the screen. It can call tools like a web browser, code interpreter, or file search. It can pause for clarification, so you can actually interrupt it, give it some new instructions, and it will then continue with your updated instructions. And also I was talking about also the interrupt and redirect at any time. It saves outputs along the way without you micromanaging. It does not run in the background indefinitely. Once the current task is done, it stops. However, I'll tell you that when I gave it the Canva tasks, I actually let it run for an hour before I said stop. We'll come back to this. And then it's only as good as the goal you give it. Yes, vague goals equals vague results. Think of it as a proactive assistant, more like go do this than tell me about this. So I will come back and address some of the things that people have brought up in just a moment. First, I want to share. I went ahead and created a prompt so we can get it started and you can kind of see how this works. This is, I'm going to give it a goal, not just a question, and a to-do list. So you are my assistant for today's open office hour session. Create a quick one-page handout titled 3 Fun Facts About AI That Anyone Can Understand. Search the web for 3 recent 2025 fun facts about AI that are beginner friendly. Put them in a numbered list with short, punchy explanations. Save the result as a nicely formatted PDF I can share with attendees. Now, just so you know, I could have done this in regular ChatGPT and it would work just fine. But because I don't want I don't want agent to go off and be working on stuff for an hour, I gave it more something straightforward and simple. And I don't know what this is.
Can you scroll up? So I want to take a screenshot of this.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you mean the whole thing?
The instructions.
There you go. That should have everything.
Beautiful.
Can you see it?
Yes, one moment. It ends with, I can share with attendees.
Yeah, that's it.
Perfect.
So now let's give it a whirl. The main thing is I want you to see what it does. It should bring up its own computer window. Setting up my desktop. I'll try to scroll up a little so we can see. All right, sounds like a fun project. It basically just repeated what I said. And here is its window. So you can see, here's its instructions to itself. Here's its own virtual browser. I don't know if I'll be able to share this whole thing later. No, if not, I'll repeat it as a separate video and splice it in. So it's in reading mode right now. It shows you in the upper left corner which website it's going to. It also may say it there in its own little instruction box. So now it's going to codakid.com.
Tirza?
Yes.
At some point for your entire account, did you instruct it to always show you what it's doing? Because my ChatGPT never shows me what it's doing and where it's going. And I asked it to do it one time, and it gave me some kind of answer as to why it could, I guess it was from my spreadsheets. And it gave me some answer as to why it could not show me what it was doing.
So the answer is I really actually I don't know. However, when it's in agent mode, it will show you what it's doing.
Oh, okay.
When you're in regular GPT, just giving it prompts, it used to show what it was doing if it was complicated, more than one step. But at some point it stopped doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really going all out in the research. I thought I would just give 3 fun facts and go with it, but all right, I'm choosing 3 fun facts. All right, it wanted to, the next time I'll maybe be even more specific. But it's now in techverdi.com or something like that. Okay, now it's creating, this is how it creates the 1-page PDF. It writes a Python script to do that, which will also have the footnoted citations, and it should be close to being complete. And one thing about having my screen blow up for easier readability is it also blows up my chat window. So, all right. Oh my goodness, it's really going on. So we'll let that finish. It should take just a couple of minutes. I will.
Hey, Terza, while you're waiting for that thing to do what you
Yes.
commanded it to, I thought in one of our prior sessions, we concluded that agent mode is just like a deep dive. But today, it sounds like agent mode is actually another mode.
It is. And that's why Dean, for example, is running out of prompts or resources in the free thing. And so here it is, agent, anything, two things to know. One is if you must start the chat. If you're going to do things in agent mode, you start the chat with it in agent mode and do things. Otherwise, it won't go back into agent mode.
So are we talking about the autonomous agent?
Yes,
that
that's
okay?
what this is. This is ChatGPT now acting as your personal virtual personal assistant. So
Like my SEO GPT would.
well, except that GPT is more static. This, as you just saw, will go out onto the web. It will call on different tools. Your GPT is kind of limited in only answering what ChatGPT can access right then and there.
So then can this autonomous mode tap into my specific GPTs, which my SEO GPT could not?
No, and I'll come back to that question. I'll tell you
Okay.
that in a moment. But it did
Dang
create the PDF. Another note about PDFs is once you have to download them quickly. If you come back to this chat in an hour, this will no longer be here. The link will be here, but it'll be empty. I don't know quite
I
why
find
Chat.
that all the time.
Yeah,
I
I've
know.
experienced that.
What is that a PDF of?
Oh, here, let's go.
Of what she instructed it to do.
Yeah, that should be the 3 fun facts. So let's see if it'll let me open it up. Can you see it here? Oh gosh, it's
What
a
the-
terrible
Not
PDF.
much.
Well, it's here, but holy moly, you can't see it.
Could you make it a little smaller?
Yeah, wow,
There's a
Okay.
lot of white space in there.
that's a terrible formatting. Wow. Okay, well, it did it, but in a terrible way.
Maybe you would need to tell it the size font you want
I
when you're
think-
No
giving it the
spaces.
instructions.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's got
I
like
think
about 10 line spaces between each line.
This is a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
example of
And
being
it's all on
used
one
with
page.
it.
AI as an artist. Oh, that's the next one.
Terza,
Oh, it's horrible. Yes,
Terza,
yes.
do you think you could upload a sample PDF to a GPT or to just the GPT function, and then say scan this for stylistic guidance, and then create a prompt that I can feed into an agent that will guide the agent? Would
Yes,
that be a good way to handle that?
I
Sounds
think that would be a great way. Now, just before I get to that, Gary, yes, I think that will actually absolutely work. What I would like to share with you guys is, let me zoom things out of the way. Last week, I might have mentioned that I had created a personal advisory board by creating a bunch of GPTs for each of my strengths. And then as part of that journey, before I even started with agent things, I created one called Weffy. And I mistakenly thought she would call, because I gave her, I'll show you, I gave her the spreadsheet of all of those GPTs that I was kind of just showing you there. Let me just show you that real quick here. This is the spreadsheet I gave her. This spreadsheet has the name of each GPT, what it's like a 1-sentence introduction about it, and then its actual GPT link. And what I thought was that she would call on my behalf certain strengths that would answer a specific questions. But just like Joseph said, that's not what happened. What was really happening is she was calling, she was acting as each of those GPTs, but all within her context. She was never calling them. So when I later asked ChatGPT about that, it said, oh no, you can't do that unless you have Enterprise Edition. And even then, in Enterprise Edition, It's called RBAC. I can send that information later, but in Enterprise Edition, which you pay a lot more money for, you would be able to then connect OpenAI's API back over to your ChatGPT, and then you can then call any GPT you want.
I think you ought to drop this problem into Helen's lap. I'll bet you she'll figure out a way around it.
Well, what I do now, I'll show you what I've done is I call her up and I say, here, I'll give you an example. Well, maybe I won't.
Now,
'Cause
this
it
is an
was-
agent or a
No, no.
GPT?
This is a GPT.
Okay.
And now what I do is I say, you know, I have thus and such problem. Tell me which council members would best, you know, address the solution. And then I say, and she'll do that. She'll say which ones are the best. And then I'll say, great. I know you can't call these because I already know that. So be as though you were each one of these and then give me an answer. And the only reason I don't want to share one of my conversations recently was a kind of more on a personal matter, and that's not kind of what I want to share on screen. But I've also used it for some business related things. So that's how I
What you're
got around
saying
it.
is they can interrogate the characteristics of a GPT, but they can't really transfer, detailed contextual information about, tasks and problem solving.
Oh,
between
they can, but they act as if they were that GPT. They're not calling the GPT.
Yeah, they can't transfer the information.
Right.
Let me ask you a question on this, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Because I have an advisory board, a virtual one that I've had for years of people that I admire that are no longer with us on this side.
Yep.
Can you take the chat and ask it to get, let's just say, go back and look at that person, let's say Eleanor Roosevelt, she's one of my advisory board.
Yes.
So have chat look at the biography of Ellen, and then have that person, and then take all the people I have Bob Hope, Will, can't remember Will's last name at the minute. Anyway, I have like
Will
6
Rogers?
people. No, the
Oh.
guy that donated the land to Beverly Hills, polo
Oh.
player, Rogers, Will Rogers.
Yeah, it
Anyway.
was. Yeah.
So they all have different, and each one of them has a huge different background, although Eleanor and Bridgie both have political backgrounds. And then use that. So when there's a problem, can chat do something like that?
Yes. So here's what you could do for that. You do something very similar to what I've done here. You'll give it the instructions that are, are appropriate for you. But what you can do is create a file, a PDF that describes each one of your members who are no longer with us. Get their main characteristics, put them in a PDF, and upload them as a file into this specific GPT. Then when you're over here, you can say, act as Eleanor, act as, Will, act as, any of the ones that you've chosen.
Why can't I have them all? I want them all to discuss what the thing is
Well,
with each
here,
other.
I'll give you,
And then give me the results of their.
Yes, you can do that. Let me show you how that would work. Let's say, let's see. I'll try to make up something. I have a, I don't know, difficult client question about my services. I'm just making stuff up. This is not anybody I know. They're being
That's Peggy. She's a difficult client.
They're being abrasive and not listening. Which council members can help me with this? Let's just see what it comes up with.
This is great. But you create, what you did is you created a chat for each one, right?
I created a separate GPT for each one.
Yeah, I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
I'd be happy to show you, and I've covered it before, but I'd be happy to show you also. Okay, so it looked at the spreadsheet that I gave it, and it came up with 5 different council members that could help me with this: command,
Okay.
empathy, strategic, harmony, and communication. It even tells me how they'd work together. So command will anchor my voice so I don't get steamrolled. Empathy tunes into their underlying needs, because often abrasiveness hides fear, urgency, or insecurity. Strategic will help me pivot to solutions they can accept. And communication will frame my points in a way that makes it hard for them to misinterpret or ignore me. And so then it says, if you'd like, I can look at your list and tailor this mini council from your actual top talents. So yes, and act as though they were all here to give me their solution. So now just understand, it's not calling them, it's acting as each one of them.
Now, have you told ChatGPT that these GPTs are a council?
Yes, that's part of my instructions for this particular GPT.
And
And
once
those
you
were
do that, you
uploaded.
don't ever have to do it again?
Right, right. And that's another beauty of GPT. So now, because I gave it those specific instructions and that PDF, or actually the spreadsheet, I don't have to repeat all that now.
And what information do you need on that spreadsheet? Just the name of the GPT and it'll recognize it? Or is there
I had each one of these give me a 1-sentence introduction about themselves. So it took me a little bit of compilation. I sort of used Agent to help me with that, but what it told me to do was to go into each GPT, give a specific instruction so it would introduce itself, and then I put that introduction into the spreadsheet.
Okay.
So now this is its advice for me from each council member, that it gives me good feedback of how I might, handle the situation. And then she offers, would you even like a scripted response that blends all their voices?
Wow,
And I'll go ahead and say yes.
that's interesting.
Yeah. So weaving all 5 voices into one clear, composed message.
That's
can
what
adapt.
I want.
So you can absolutely do this with your council, Peggy.
Where's my council? Oh, there they are.
I'd be happy to help you do that in a separate call.
My priority is me.
So
Consider the options in here.
this is the council forge script.
So you never got specific about what the exact problem was, just that this person wasn't listening and they were abrasive.
Right,
Very interesting.
right. Now, I suppose if it had been an actual situation, I probably would have given it more information. Yeah. So
You know, we have to do one of these Fridays where each of us creates a new GPT. And then
Oh, that's-
whatever stumbling blocks we come across, and we can sort of handle it in the session. Maybe we could do that one Friday.
And quality.
that's a great idea. Maybe we'll set it up for next week.
Yeah.
So, yes, Sarah, I was, well, not so much a supervisor. I was hoping she was going to be a GPT that would call the other GPT. So
Yeah.
kind of a supervisor, but more of, I didn't want it to be too hierarchical. In fact, I think I can show you the instructions. My instructions were clearer, I think. So
It's like you pulled it all together in this last piece where Chat said, do you want me to pull it all together and give you a script for how the whole board would respond? So I guess that's
but just 5 members of the board. It didn't give, I didn't need the whole council to do it because that's 34 people. So my initial instructions were that her name was Wefton Y, and that she was semi-sentient, not true, but maybe she thinks she is, I don't know.
right.
Right, so so she serves as the council weaver, the meta organizer. So she helps me with the council dynamics, suggests which personas to bring together, note when one perspective is missing or underutilized. And she coordinates with the spreadsheet of council members and their core details. And then here's where I said it's not hierarchical, so she's not in charge of them, but she holds a broad view of everyone. So that's the instructions I gave her. It was before I understood that she couldn't actually call them. So, and she's not sentient.
Right, that's my concern about the advisory board. I got the personalities or the all the decision kind of things, how they dealt with it while they were doing whatever. And then the creation of putting it all together like that, that's the important thing. This last part where they came together with all their philosophies and said, this is the way to handle the situation.
Yes. Yes. So you'll absolutely be able to do that. And you won't even have to create all these.
Now, do you believe it was Weffy who merged all those ideas into the script for you, or how do you
Yes.
believe that came about? Oh, so you believe Weffy crafted that from all the, okay.
Yep.
And we'll get into ChatGPT. I downloaded I searched for and found 2 GPTs that were pertinent to what I was working on. And I saved them. I actually did 3 and one of them wasn't any good. So I saved 2 that I could see in my list. I just don't know how to start a conversation with that GPT, or do I start a regular basic conversation and bring it in later?
Why don't you go ahead and share your screen? Let me stop share because I want to make sure I understood your question properly.
Well, I don't want to get you off track. So
okay. All right.
We can pick my question up after, what we're doing now.
Okay, that's cool. First, is there any other questions on what I've shared so far? Let's go with that. That part was okay.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
We're getting.
I need that primer.
Okay. So let me respond here to Peggy's comment.
Oh, yeah, you said you had taught this already, how to create it. I just need to have the video, the data video, and I'll go find it.
Yes, and Helen is an expert at creating GPTs. She just plops it right in Creator and does it. I actually give what I want over to ChatGPT and say, tell me what to put in there.
So when you tell me what to put in there, just write out what you want. What is it you want the GPT to do? You put that in the creator, you're on the create side rather than configure, because figure's got the fields you got to fill out. So rather than trying to figure out what fields to fill out, just go into create and go, I need a GPT that does blah, 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 blah. And like with my one that I did, the Spark Strategist, where I uploaded all of my different personality profiles that I had records of, when I started using it, it was pulling in that information from strengths and from that, but it was giving the answers with those things in there, like it was, you know, like a podcast. Well, let's do a podcast on the strength of focus. I'm like, no. So I went back into creative mode and said, okay, we've had a miscommunication here and I apologize for that. So I treat it like it's a human. I said, what I need you to do is that use this information I have given you to write the information in my voice. So when I ask you a question, I want you to use all my different personality profiles combined to provide the answer. So it sounds like it's coming from me. And once it got that, we're golden. So I can now pull up the Spark Strategist, type in what I want it to do, and it now comes back in my voice, utilizing my strengths in the response.
Yeah.
You're on mute, Dean. Like
And
you're
that
going great
directive
guns here. I
has
can
to
see the
be
hands
done
going
in-
and everything.
So
Helen,
Helen,
that directive has to be put into every GPT then, right?
That depends on
usual
what
voice.
GPT is used for. That because I uploaded all my strengths disc, love languages, human design, MBTI, and all the other different personalities, it was pulling the information from those pieces to fill in the rather than utilizing it to create the personality, it was using that information to give me the answers.
so you have that GPT for a specific, like when you're writing, for example, you use it, or is that your general GPT for all of your work? So it's done in your voice.
It depends on what I'm doing. It really depends. I mean, I've got a whole slew. I took screenshots the other day of my GPTs. I think I took 5 screenshots because I'll scroll up, take a screenshot, scroll up, take a screenshot, scroll up, take a screenshot of all my GPTs. Because I've actually got bots that I have created, but I've got to create the GPTs for the bots. But I'm going to end up assigning the bots to different GPTs. So I already have some of the bots created. I just don't have them named as the bot.
When do you sleep?
I go to bed at 10:30 at night and I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Really? Oh,
So
So
I no
haven't
longer have a puppy that tells me it's time to get off the electronics. So I kind of use that time to
I
go
haven't
create
done
things.
nearly as many as Helen at all,
Yeah.
but just these are some of the ones that I've created, and these are my latest ones. These are, well, I may go into these on a later session, but these are the ones. Any one that says GGC, and now I don't remember why I chose those initials, but because I
Wow.
wanted to keep all of these in the same, be able to find them easily. These
So
are all
you-
my 34.
you have some named Pod, Pod.
Pod. So
Print on
pod,
demand?
no. In this case, a pod is like a dolphin pod. So these are
So
going to
little
be
groups.
these
Yeah.
are hooks. These are hooks for me to create. So for example, it's without showing you the map. Hold on. Let me stop sharing. I'll show you the map. This will make much more sense to you than just going through the list.
Susie, can you have another office hours that moves a little slower for people that are not here? I'm
With a
listening to Helen
remedial.
going, oh my God, yes, remedial. I'm
This
listening to
is
Helen.
how we start. Turn on your computer. Okay.
Well, I was up to 2:30 in the morning this morning on chat. And I don't know, maybe I'm not being as efficient as I could be, but it was
Sarah,
yeah,
can I make a recommendation?
yes.
That you listen to this video, because you can stop it, and then you just go to chat and you ask them to clarify and ask as many questions as you want, because that'll have a twofold
Okay.
benefit. One is they're giving you great information, and two, you're learning the system, they're learning you. And I think that would be a great way. Just you're in a
Okay.
great spot right now, and you've got a great tool that can teach you anything you need. So just start using the
Okay.
tool for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
And you can make it. You'll do it. It'll come to you so quickly. It'll be surprised at how soon you'll feel like an expert. I guarantee it.
You
Sarah,
The other
did
thing you can
create
do
this, or
is
did ChatGPT do it for you?
say this again.
did you create this or did ChatGPT create this document? This PDF?
Actually, ChatGPT created this document, but just a quick side note
Oh,
for Sarah, you can totally ask ChatGPT to teach you things, especially about Excel.
yeah, I do. I can't tell you
Okay.
that chat has helped. Chat has helped me replace Skype because you can't use Skype anymore. And I mean, chat is, I'm in love. You know, I'm like,
Right.
oh my God.
All right, so after I created my own personal board of advisors, I thought, well, that's really great. But what I really want now is to be able to work on client projects. And I wanted to switch the focus. I want to tap into my board, my strengths to help me create specific projects. So after some conversation with ChatGPT, yes, it eventually created this picture for me. So these aren't the colorful names that I have, you know, like Weffy and some of the other ones, but each strength is here. So to create the vision for my client's project, I'll be able to tap into these, whatever it is, 5 strengths. It's one, so this is a vision. Decided to call them a pod because like dolphin pods, groups of dolphins. This is groups of strengths. So then I have a pod GPT for creating content. And then I have a pod GPT called engagement for helping create engaging campaigns, social media, you know, email, write them properly so that the content pod would be able to put the right things out on the different social media or my newsletter. And then I don't remember exactly what each one of these are, but you might be able to infer by which strengths it calls on. So this is all very new to me. I'm still learning how to roll it out, even just for myself, but that's the approach that I've taken.
Okay. So Tirza, if you took one of those pods, let's say the vision pod, that first one,
Mhm.
how did you ascertain that the GPT you created for that pod, I assume the vision pod is one GPT, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you know you have the right GPT that is gonna be you know, futuristic and strategic and so forth, or did you give it these qualities somehow?
That's why I said this was a whole consulting conversation I had with ChatGPT about how to organize these different strengths so that these 6 pods would be kind of like my staff. Does that help?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is looking for what is behind, let's say, input. Did you give it what you need for input? Or did you have the chat create what input would be?
Oh, I had it tell me, so I had it tell me what
Let's do the first
instructions to
one.
give each one.
Okay, I think that's what
So
Dean was looking for.
what would input entail? In other words, is that that GPT knows how to interface with certain platforms, you know, whether it be Instagram or something like that, how to input things?
Oh, the place where I was going with this is so this GHL is Go High Level. I was going to have this pod be an actual AI agent or an employee, a virtual employee
Okay.
inside my Go High Level. And then I was going to use, I don't know, I think it was Gary who asked, I was going to have, in fact, it already laid it out for me, how I can use, you can't go directly to Go High Level from ChatGPT. So you have to go through something like another service called Make or Zapier. So it was going to give me instructions on how I could make that connection. But once I'd made that connection, then I could go to ChatGPT agent mode and give it this instructions. And as you can see, it's this one gets a lot more complicated and strays far away from doing things from the beginning, from beginner mode. But this is where I was going because, and this is the whole program, because I want to also create solutions for my clients
Mhm.
as time goes on.
Is this going to be able to answer your emails when they come in?
Yes,
Eventually?
however, I don't want it, what I want it to do is write up what it thinks the response is and pause and wait for me to go read it. So I'm always making sure I'm in the loop. I don't want it to post on my behalf. I don't want
No,
it-
but it
Always.
creates it so you don't have to.
Yes, it
That's
creates it.
90% of emails is creating the answers.
Yes,
And you have hundreds coming in a day.
that's my goal, is to have it help manage these back end admin type things that just drive me crazy.
Yeah.
They're super important, but they take, anyway,
Are
you
you
get
going to sell that product to people like us so we can just use it in ours?
yes, that's the intent. That's the intent.
Sure, package
Let
it
me know
up
when it's ready.
and monetize it.
Yes, exactly. So one more thing I want to share, because that I think you'll find important. And this is about the settings. I think it's under settings. Let's go look here. If it's not, it's under oh, I'm sorry, it's under connectors. So these are currently what you can enable ChatGPT to connect directly to. You have to let it,
You have to give it
might want to
permission.
turn these off or turn them on. It will always ask your permission. It doesn't go off by itself and look at these things. But still, just to be safe, I would, whoops, I've gone.
Okay, so with these connections, you would not have to use Zapier.
With
Right.
these connections, right? But as you'll
Right.
see, so I've given it permission to access my Canva account, my GitHub account, which is, I don't know much about GitHub. I just went ahead and connected it just to see what was available. It's connected to my Gmail account, my calendar, my Google Drive, but even with that, it's kind of limited as to what things it can access. Darn it, I've got it connected to Notion, which is another tool. And then these are all the ones that are still available that I haven't connected it to because I personally don't need them, but I just wanted you to know that they're available to you.
Dropbox.
Yep. So on
Oh, can you just go
another,
back there just for a minute so I can take a screenshot?
oh, this part here?
The other one, the one below that where you just were.
Oh, okay,
The
hold
other
on.
things that you
Yes,
said.
hang on.
I think I saw Dropbox there or something.
Yes, you did. Here
Yep.
we go.
There.
There's the other ones. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is exciting stuff, but know that sometimes it's still clunky and doesn't work exactly as one might prefer.
And it's a lot of work. I bet you that didn't take you 5 minutes to do.
Oh,
Bet you it took you a
yeah.
couple of days or a week to get it the way you want it to be.
Yes, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of learning. And my goal is to continue simplifying it down so that I can share it with all of you. So you'll be able to do it. So Sarah and Lois, I hear you. I will go back and do something more basic next session. And then as Jean suggested, I will, maybe next session, I will also go through step by step, both Helen's method and my method of creating GPTs, just so you get a feel for the difference. So
I have a question.
Well,
Jane,
is
you're
it the
unmuted,
object?
Jane.
Okay.
Is it the point of this to learn all of this so that we can be completely involved in AI and it can actually work for us? Right
yes,
now, I'm working for it. It's not working for me.
yes. And Dean, you're muted because I think he's finding the same thing. Dean,
Yeah.
unless he's
Dean.
talking to someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Can I
Go ahead,
There's
Derek.
So you just did this connection thing, which sounds very interesting. I didn't even realize that. But it brought up the thought with what I noticed was you didn't have it connected to your notebook thing, the LMT or yeah, you don't need to
Probably
do.
will not be able to do, well, I won't say, I don't know that. But my first guess is that it won't be because that's a product of Google Gemini.
Microsoft.
Who knows, Dean, you were talking earlier, but I don't know if you were talking to us.
No, I'm sorry. I was actually giving ChatGPT instructions. If you saw my lips moving.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we didn't leave you out of the conversation.
No, thank you. So this is extremely frustrating. As of a month ago, ChatGPT always outshined anything I could give it. And I was the kindergartner and it was the college professor. And now I have to talk to it like a 3-year-old. And then it repeats all the instructions back to me. And then when I say, yes, go ahead, it tells me my time is up. And then I have to start from scratch with each session. It says, try back later. So my question to you earlier was, how can I believe from what you told me before, if I was to just use Chat GPT 4.0 mini, that is probably not going to limit me.
If you start
So I
over,
would just like to start with that because nothing I'm doing is too sophisticated. I
right.
believe.
That's I hear your frustration and I think it would be super annoying, but your best bet might be to start over that whole conversation. And when you do, when you do that, let me just go over to new chat. I'm not going to go do a spreadsheet, but now you can see I'm in a new chat and you go over to Chat GPT 5. And since you keep running into limit issues, you can go all the way down here to legacy models and go to GPT 4.0, which I understand is not what the documentation says.
Can I stop you?
Yep.
I need to show you my screen.
Happy to do that. Let me stop sharing.
Let's do that.
And do I need to give you permission or you can just do it?
We'll see.
Okay.
That was interesting because last night, Tirza, I ran into the same thing. I was working with Chat. Chat was doing a great job, and then did partial of something, and then said, should I do the rest of it? And I said yes, and it went into another conversation we had at another time completely, and I was like, no. So then I had to come back, and like Dean, I had not saved it. And so then I saved it and I had to say, oops, Chat, you're in 2 different conversations. So yeah, it was 2 in the morning was a little mind-boggling.
Okay, so now it updated my latest instruction. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going up here to the top left. Again, I'm in the free version. And, like I sort of alluded to in my email, I have no problem paying. My problem is I'm a realtor. I am paying for so many items right now. I'm up to about $400 a month in dialers, in Canva, in and just everything's $20 a month, $20, which doesn't sound like a lot until you pile it on. So when I get sophisticated enough with ChatGPT, I'm happy to pay for an account because then it'll have value. Okay, so I'm doing the pull down and this is all I see. I've got upgrade or I've got ChatGPT with a check. That is all.
That's not correct. I mean, that's not the way it should be. So
what happens if you put right in the prompt, use model 4 or use ChatGPT 4 for this interaction?
How should
try
I word
that.
that, Tirza?
I don't know if that'll work.
It says you can't change in the middle of a chat. That's what it told me before.
But you just put all this.
Just a new chat. Go to new chat.
I've done that too. Okay, so we're going to do a new chat.
Just random new chat. Don't put anything in it yet. Let's just see.
Okay, click on new chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now click on the, no, don't put anything in yet. Through here. Yeah, click there.
Same thing.
Nope, same thing. So it's, That's not the way it's supposed to behave. That's all.
They also told me, ChatGPT told me that I'm supposed to look for a paper clip to the left of the action box or something, or at one point it had me go to settings to find the 4.0 or something.
Yeah, I don't know
Let's
whether
see
you
where
can
I
do
can
it.
go to 4.0 here either.
Yeah, I don't see that here. There's
So-
still, as you pointed out in your email, Dean, there was a huge backlash that they were not, OpenAI was not expecting from their users. And a number, I don't know what the numbers were, but a large number of users apparently were using ChatGPT 4.0 as their personal advisors, kind of like I was. And when OpenAI made everything go to 5 without giving people the ability to go back to 4.0, it wasn't able to access those other chats that they already had. And so big mistake. They did admit that, or at least Sam Altman publicly admitted that was a big mistake. And so they were supposed to, and for some people, obviously, like me, you can see it for me, they were supposed to backtrack and allow you to get access to 4.0 again. But as I can see with your account, Dean, they have not.
Well, I think what I read, I was trying to find information about this. What I read was the qualifier was paid users. They were looking for paid users to be able to go back to 4.0. And that wasn't ChatGPT saying that. That was somewhere on the web that I read as far as news.
Okay.
It didn't say only paid users, but it had the word paid users. There were so many complaints that paid users they made everybody go back to paid users go back to 4.0 or 4 whatever.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of, and now I'm going to try to. It's not following my instructions. Also, I'm asking it to do certain things. It posts things and changes my structure without asking me, and then not doing what I instructed it to do. I'm going to try to upload this thing again because it made another. Okay, now it's letting me, but before it said you cannot upload anything. You have to use the paperclip feature, and when the paperclip feature wasn't showing up, it said pretty much too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's no guarantee that you'll be able to do what you want now either.
Yeah. So
just saying.
actually, I'm talking to you, so I just uploaded it. I didn't give it any instructions. It's going to ask me in a minute, but so that's kind of my catch-22. I keep going around in circles over and over and over, not being able to get back down to 4.0 or 4.0 mini to complete my work. And this is something that when I did this 2 weeks ago, it spit this thing out. It wasn't how I really liked it, but it gave me all the answers in something like 9 minutes. Did the whole thing for me pretty much. It was 90% complete. And then in this past week, when I knew exactly what I wanted, I took the structure that it made and I made modifications to it in Excel. Asked it to use this as the framework. And it, taken me 2 complete days of checking back once an hour or something when it says try back later, just trying to make progress with this thing. So, yeah, it's just given me, I'll go over this when we're finished here.
Yeah.
And pick it up again. But so if Tirza, if you happen to stumble across something where you find a method where free users can actually get to 4.0 mini, just email me or send it to me or just
Okay.
tell me to call you and
Okay. The other thing, I will definitely do that, Dean, because I agree with your frustration. The other thing I will add, there is a tool called numerous.ai. You can get it is a paid tool, but you can get a 7-day free subscription or a trial, whatever, free trial. It's a spreadsheet that has ChatGPT on the back end. And it might help you with this, but I since I haven't played with it myself, I don't want to guarantee your results.
yeah.
But
Well, yeah, I mean, what was amazing just before we started our session today, about 30 minutes before, I logged in because it had been overnight, I gave it a rest. And I was able to give it, I said, don't repeat my instructions back to me, just do it. Because I
Good for
think
you.
maybe that's using up my time or my data or whatever.
Yes.
And it went and it did 80%. Again, I've been working on this thing for 2 days, and it did about 80% of what I wanted it to fix, like in that 30 minutes. I was like, wow, okay, so maybe I can get that other, that other little bit to complete this. And now I'm going back and forth with it again.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So yeah, but like Helen said, once you get into that, don't do that. I
Well,
mean, don't continue.
And I'll say this to anybody in the room, however frustrating this might be, just the interaction with it, Tirza can't tell us she can't tell us everything. You have to get in, you have to play with it. You have to see what works for you, what doesn't work. And then, and then when I hit a brick wall or stumbling block, then I'll bother Tirza or, bring it up in this session or whatever. And so for me, I'm a lifelong learner. I'm curious. I like to learn. I would like to get something done, but I enjoy the fact that I'm interacting and I'm getting comfortable, with it. So at some point, I want to, be able to create. Helen named them bots. I would like board members of my group or whatever, and then put something out for discussion. And I'll get there. Right now, I'm like in kindergarten. So, but I'm trying.
Dean,
Yes, sir.
Dean, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Dean?
Gary. Is that Gary? Yeah.
So, I've done a lot with other AI tools and spreadsheets, and now I'm on ChatGPT because of the agent mode and trying to learn this. But one thing just in general is sometimes if you're trying to do too much all at once, it will confuse the engine. And so sometimes it's easier to break it down, ask for simpler problems without too much all rolled into one. And like it would be, then sometimes you can easily merge things. And sometimes it's easier to just, break it up into components, ask it to solve the components, and then combine them yourself. Or once they're already done, the combining is easier once all the individual blocks are done. So ask GPT to combine them, and then if it doesn't do a good job of it, maybe you can combine it yourself. So I don't know if you're
Gary, I kind of did that, and it was more work because every time it would combine something, it would change the structure of my spreadsheet. But here's the solution I came up with, at least for this one ROI calculation. I gave all the instructions at once, and it handled it. And what it didn't complete, let's say it got 70% of it all correct, then I picked up the ball. And what I've learned is, take that big chunk that it completed correctly and then have it fix just a piece at it. Don't have it fix the other 30% all at one time. But like you're saying, take the components bit by bit. So I'm giving it the sort of the opposite. I'm giving it the lion's share of the work, and then what it doesn't get right, I'm fixing piece at a time. And
All right,
that seems to be working. So thank you. It is good advice.
Sounds good.
Tirza, you're on mute.
Thank you. Go ahead, Sarah.
Well, so along the same lines as what Dean was saying, I wrote a book and I put the entire book in chat and asked chat to edit it. And well, let me just give you an example. The first chapter, so it wasn't able to do that. So then I put the first chapter in, and it was a 16-page chapter, and it edited down to 1.5 pages. So
Is that what you wanted it to do?
No.
Oh.
But I have decided though, it's a great teaser program. So I'm going to use that I'm going to do it for every chapter now that way. But what I really wanted was chat to edit it. And I was wondering if you know of any, I don't know, AI that does that.
Claude.
Look at
Claude.
Helen,
Yeah,
you're
Helen's the
raving.
writer in the group, right, Helen?
Helen is the
Yeah.
author. Yeah, the writer.
Claude.
Claude?
Claude.
Claude. Oh, Claude?
Caude. Yep.
Yeah.
On Monday, I was at a workshop for AI. On Mondays, I attend a workshop for AI. And
Is that Kane Minkus?
no.
No. Okay.
And the person who does the presentations and stuff was talking about a book that she had written. She starts in ChatGPT to get the outline. Then she flips over to and because ChatGPT will only do so much.
Yeah.
Then she takes it into Claude and Claude pads it.
Writes the whole thing.
Yeah, well, she's already had this, she basically had the script anyway. But what she did is that she gets one to proofread. She tells it, I want this proofread, but not rewritten. And that's one of the things that I had to tell it when I wrote my song and I put it into ChatGPT for proofreading. I said, I do not want you to rewrite the song at all. I just want you to note where the grammar errors are.
Okay.
So that way it's not going to compound anything. You tell it exactly what you want it to look for. But she would go from ChatGPT into Claude, then she'll take what was written in Claude, put it back to ChatGPT for checking, and then put it back into Claude again. So she'd flip-flop between the thing to get the whole book. But she'd do a chapter at a time.
A chapter at a time. And the other thing though is like what I was wanting was an editor who it's a book on network marketing and I wanted an editor who could look at the, like kind of know the overview and then edit each chapter so they related, and it made sense. But I have not found an editor who was even interested in touching a book on network marketing.
So like, create a GPT that is a network marketing GPT, a special expert. And then, so you turn around and you put on all the characteristics you want that GPT to have.
Okay.
And you call it your network marketing guru, whatever it is. And then you click on the GPT and then so it goes into that mode. And then you upload your first chapter and say, I would like this proofread only. I do not need it rewritten. I just want it proofread. And please list out the errors that need to be, or ideas that might need to be fleshed out a little more.
Okay.
But put in the thing that you don't want it rewritten. You just want to know what changes need to be made.
Okay, so proofread, not rewritten, and ideas that need to be fleshed out more.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then you take all of that, put it over to Claude, and it puts it all together for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll put it in what? It'll what?
Put it all together for you.
Oh, it will. Okay. Okay. Will it format it for printing?
Yeah, the format that it comes out, it could be used for printing.
Okay.
But you can always download it into something like Canva, because that's where I put my manuscripts into Canva and I do the formatting in Canva.
Right. I had my VA put it in Canva and she formatted it, but now I'm proofreading it to make sure that there aren't misspelled words because it just formatted it. It didn't do any checking.
So one of the things when you're doing the proofreading, say, please check the spelling, and I want it checked in because I write New Zealand English. So I say, I want it proofread in New Zealand English. We add U's where you guys don't put them. And we have S's instead of Z's.
Right.
Or Z's. You call them Z's or Z's?
Z's.
We say Z's, you say Z's.
Yeah, you say Z.
And you also use a lot of U's.
Yes.
Canadian says Z.
Helen, or Teresa, did you say that Claude was better at putting it all together?
Yep. This is what I got shown. It's what I got shown it on Monday, and I was sort of like, oh my gosh.
Helen, did you use Claude or you just use chat for this?
I mainly use chat, but now that I've been shown Claude.
Right. You're gonna go Claude.
I'm playing. Okay. I'm in play mode.
Well, like Dean, I have a huge monthly hit. I'm not even going to tell you how huge it is, guys. And it pales Dean's, and I'm trying to cut this down. And so one of the things I cut back on was another AI. Tirza knows the service. I cut back on that service that had Claude in it. So yeah, I'd have to go find Claude again. So that might be worth it though.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
Anyway, Helen, thank you. Oh my gosh, so helpful.
Thank you, Helen. That is awesome.
My pleasure.
That's
I have one quick comment.
oh yes, please.
AI is supposed to help us cut down on the time it takes us to do certain chores or tasks. And what I'm hearing from all of you is it's taking you hours and hours and days and weeks and months to do what you want to have it save you time. So I don't understand why there's so much to fiddle around with in AI.
It's like anything, Marcy. You got to train it to what you want it to do. Once it's set up, it's like when you go into a new job, you've got new skills and stuff you have to learn to get up to speed that then make the job easier. AI, you have to train it to what you want it to do, and once it's set up, boom, you're off and running.
And
Yeah,
I would add to that, Marcy, that like for me, I have had chat write me facilitator outlines for webinars or presentations I'm doing, and then do a script for me. And that would take me 4 or 5 days, and it does it in minutes. and it's right. You know, I mean, it's really interesting. It's the information is quite right. And sometimes I have to correct it like I did last night, but otherwise it has saved me enormous amounts of time. If you just, you know, use it. Basically what we're talking about is spending hours on trying to use chat as an advanced tool. And I think that's really what makes the difference. Would you agree?
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. All right. I think on that note, we will wrap up today's session. And as I've been playing catch up with some other things, I'm now ready to play catch up with these. And so I will ship both recordings from last week and this week, this afternoon, along with the show notes. And I will see if it doesn't take too long, I will see if I can answer some of the questions that have been presented here. Otherwise, I'll answer them. I'll queue them up for next week. And next week, we will be specifically about GPTs. So Helen, are you available next week?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Good.
Because
Then
my 10:30 call is not happening next week. So
okay, so Helen will present how she does hers. I'll present how I do mine, although you've already seen a lot of how I do mine, but we'll start from the beginning so everybody is on the same page again.
That would be awesome.
Can I ask one question? When you say GPTs, this is how basic I am. GPTs are the agents? Is that like, no?
GPTs are designed for a specific task.
Okay.
And I have a lot of them. Like if you want a GPT to be a ghostwriter, you can set it up to do the ghostwriting. If you're doing a health and wellness course, you set it up as a health and wellness guru. So anything that comes out of it is all health and wellness related.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's designed for specific tasks.
Okay. I'm going to ask Chat today because Chat has been helping me write a course for the Great Discovery on English as a second language. And I think that this probably would be easier to do on a GPT, is what I'm hearing. More effective.
If you set up the persona as the GPT, then you just go and pull that persona in, and you don't have to give it any instructions on how you want it formatted. Like you can turn around and say, I want it to do this, this is what the tasks I need you to do. And then you go in, and when you go and put in the prompt, it answers it based on these criteria that you've given it. So you don't have to tell it, I need you to be a health and wellness expert on this. And then you go in next time and say, oh, now I've got to give it the instructions all over again. So it saves you a lot of time. Like I have one that's called the pantry idea. And basically I go and take pictures of what's in my pantry and I upload the pictures and I go create me recipes.
Oh my God.
I do that.
And it's already got the pantry persona has already been set up. Like I'll take pictures of what's in my fridge, what's in my freezer, upload it and say, I need some dinner ideas. And it's all in that GPT, it's in that particular GPT, so it knows what my
Oh my,
likes are, what my dislikes are, and everything
this
else.
is so exciting.
it's
You know, I
fun.
mean, it just is, oh my God.
Smoothie ideas. Tez was
Yeah.
testing smoothie ideas the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So yeah, you can
Wow.
have it do anything, and as long as you set up that persona, it will answer in that persona.
Yes.
Okay. And do you need to be in a paid version to do all the GPTs?
Yes.
Yes.
You do.
That
Okay.
is paid. Yes.
And
Okay,
if you
not a
miss your
problem.
payment, it will wipe them.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Can
So
you put,
See
you
everybody.
can put it,
bye, bye, T.
so does it automatically charge you can put a credit card in that it can automatically charge. But if that credit card expires, then you're screwed.
I take
but
backups of everything.
save your instructions for all your GPTs.
I
at a
take
separate document.
backups of everything. I have a whole file on Dropbox that is just backups of all my GPTs, because I learned the hard way on that when I had to go back and create like 30 GPTs I lost.
You know what I did? I put it, I was like having so many notes with so many projects on chat that I started using Android notes. And now I have, it's like, I wanted to use Trello and I thought, I can't learn another program. So
Trello
I
is
did,
like post-it notes
yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So,
or
but
index
anyway,
cards.
right. You use Trello.
I used it years ago, but I don't use it
Okay.
anymore because now I've got Go High Level. I can, what I was using it on what I was using it in Trello for was opportunity, is what we use under opportunities, where you have the opportunity in there.
Oh, well, okay. But because I can't
Basically,
go
it said, here is the client, this is what they want, and I move them through the sale process. I now do that under opportunities and Go High Level, so I don't need Trello.
Okay,
Right.
I understand what you're saying, but I have no, I cannot. I mean, I have Go High Level. I can't even remember that visualize
So you go
in
into
Go High Level.
ChatGPT and go, how do I set up an opportunity in ChatGPT for this?
Okay, because what I've been doing is saving now my chats into my my Android notes so that I don't have to worry anymore, and I don't have to figure out where to find it in chat anymore because I'm in the free version and they do search, but anyway, so yeah, so it's I learned you got to get it out of chat. It's so
And
much more
here's
effective.
another little tip for you.
Okay.
If you are watching a video and you go, oh, that's really good, I don't quite understand that, rewind it back a little bit, hit the voice on your ChatGPT, hit play, it will record it, and then you hit stop and go, please explain this to me.
Right here
Oh my gosh.
is what she's
Wow.
talking about.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
So I think I need to upgrade. I think the free one is I think because I just I think the free one is not keeping up with me anymore. So
That's probably true.
no,
All right.
yeah.
Thank you all so
Yeah.
much. And
So helpful. Thank you.
and thank you, Helen. Thank you,
My
everyone
pleasure.
who contributed. I love all your questions. I love the people who pitch in with the things that they're doing that works for them. And we'll see you again next week.
Sounds good. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Thanks, everybody. Oh.